Hi Booktube, it's Gina. Happy Tuesday. I am going to do a tag today. It's been a while, hasn't it? I wasn't actually tagged, but I saw this tag on Kelly at Books I'm Not Reading's channel last week, and I just loved it so much that I had to do it. And it is the I already forgot what it was called. I forgot to write it down, but it's so annoying. The I'm so annoyed booktube tag, which I just think is a great idea for a tag. So I apologize. I'm looking at my computer here because I've got the prompts here. I've got an iPad, which I really want to start using, but I don't know about you guys. It's an older one. I got it from my sister when she replaced it with a newer one, and the battery dies if it's fully charged and I don't use it, the battery is dead within 3 hours. So something I think is wrong. But oh, look at this. I also have a little helper today. This is Sela, our little foster cat. She was supposed to go be adopted on Sunday, but turns out she has a little tooth infection, so we're keeping her for another week on antibiotics. So, okay, enough distractions. Let's get on to the I'm so annoyed booktube tag. These are all prompts about things about books and publishers and writing that annoy you. And the first prompt is, do publishers ever do things you find annoying? Share an example. And yes, so this is one of my favorite publishers. It is Dean Street Press. I love their covers. They're beautiful. They do really beautiful artwork on the front. And I love the books they publish. They do all of the types of books that I love. D. Stevenson. Sorry, the cat is bonking. The cat is bonking the tripod. Oh dear, this is going to be interesting. So I love what they publish. I really do love the cover art. But here are the couple things that bug me. And I will keep buying these books because, one, I want to support them because I want them to keep publishing these books. But look at the spines. They don't match up. I don't understand why they just can't match things up better. It drives me crazy when it's on the shelf and the logos don't line up. Now, somebody did say that they thought that these were print-on-demand Amazon books, which would make sense since I doubt that they're super popular. That might be why. But juxtapose that, you guys, with these Persephones that I love so much. Now, I know a lot of people don't like the plain gray covers, but these books are just beautiful. Everything lines up perfectly. They are easy to read. They've got beautiful margins, nice paper. They all come with a bookmark. These are, very high quality books. They've got beautiful end papers and a dust cover on a paperback. Whereas these, they're very hard to read. Look at the center margin is so narrow, you can barely even hold the book open to read it. So I love these. I love this publisher. I will keep on buying them, but I just wish the books were a tiny bit higher quality. So that is prompt number one. Prompt number two is, have you ever been annoyed by a spoiler, even something as simple as someone else telling you there's a great twist? And yes, I generally don't even read the backs of books anymore because they're not even necessarily spoilers, but plot devices that are later on in the book. I don't want to know them. I like to go in cold to most books and just be completely swept away by it. So I don't really even like to read synopses for the most part. I just want to go in and be surprised. I remember once Kelly, actually the same person who did this tag, was talking on her channel about Fingersmith by Sarah Waters, which was the second Sarah Waters book that I read. And Kelly said, do yourself a favor. Don't read anything about the book. Don't read the back of the book. Just go in cold and read it. And I was so glad that I did, because it was so much fun just going in and reading it without having any preconceived notions about even what it was about or anything. So yeah, I really like to go in cold and just be completely surprised for the most part. There's always exceptions to that. Prompt number 3 is, have you ever been annoyed by what I missed something here, by what you discovered in a little free library, a book sale, or a used bookstore? Tell us what you found and why it was so annoying. Now, I think this is not exactly what Kelly meant by this question, but what I'm going to say here, because I see this all the time, not at little free libraries, but at all used places where I buy books. I wish I could show you this cat right now. She's just going bonkers down here wanting to get petted. Is those, I don't know, they're eBay sellers, they're online sellers. They bring a stool, they bring a cart, they plop themselves down. Sorry, I'm crooked. They plop themselves down in front of a bookshelf and they scan every single book to see what they can sell. I'm guessing what they can sell online. There's apps that show you exactly like how much they will pay for a particular book. And I hate it so much because it makes it, one, impossible to shop because they're blocking a whole entire shelf with they bring their stool. Oh my gosh, it's just so annoying. I wish they wouldn't allow people to do that. But, they're buying books. I suppose thrift stores don't really care who buys them as long as they're getting sold. But that is one of the most annoying things ever. Absolutely hate it. Prompt number 4. When it comes to short story collections, are you annoyed if there's a novella in the middle of the collection? I don't really read short story collections. I don't prefer them, so I don't have an answer for that particular one. Prompt number 5, deckled edges, beautiful or annoying? I think they're beautiful. I like them. I think also I like them because they usually come with a book that's just beautiful overall, because most cheaply produced books won't have deckled edges. They also won't have, great French flaps or any of those other features that are so beautiful. So I think deckled edges generally tend to come with a beautiful book in general. So it's a thumbs up for me. Prompt number 6, other people's annotations in a used book or library book, annoying or are you okay with it? I'm okay with it. I don't mind. I buy a lot of used books. The books I tend to buy generally don't get annotated. I would definitely stay away from books that are really highlighted when I'm looking for things like Shakespeare for Shakespeare. I don't want a book that's got a bazillion highlights because those are just too distracting and hard to read. But I don't mind a little marginalia. I think it's kind of fun to see what other people thought. Prompt number 7, if there's a series or collection of certain kinds of books, like an imprint, and changes are made, are you annoyed or okay with it? I am annoyed. If yes, give us an example. I can't think of a specific example, but if they start a series, I want the series to be the same throughout. I want the books to be the same size. I want everything to be the same. I want them to line up on my shelves exactly the same. So yes, I'm annoyed, but I can't think of an example. Prompt number 9, are you ever annoyed by how someone organizes their books? What do you find annoying? I don't care. My books are not organized at all. I have a shelf of favorites that are not in any kind of order. These are my favorite ladies, except for J.R.R. Tolkien, he's an honorary lady. Then I've got next favorites over here and classics, and this is a mix of classics and male, female, just a mishmash of some things that I want to read, some things that I've read and loved. I've got bookshelves in the other room that are, it's sort of the way station for things that I'm ready to declutter, maybe. So as things come in, I'm constantly shuffling them out, but they're not in alphabetical order. They are, I have cookbooks separate, I have nonfiction separate. Well, to some extent, because I do have some nonfiction down here. So it's a mess. My bookshelves would probably drive people bonkers. I've also in the past had these two shelves here color coded, which I love. And because I have, what do I have, 10? I have 10 bookshelves. I know where everything is just because I don't feel like I have that many books. So I could always find things because I always can picture, like if I'm looking for a book, I know that it's red, or this copy of Villette here, I know that it's pink. So if I'm looking for it, I could picture in my head the color, and that would help me find it. So I think color coded are beautiful. You know what I think is ridiculous though, that has been really popular recently, is when the books point like this. So they're like this on the shelf. That is just dumb, because that you really can't find anything. You know, at least if they're color coded, you can at least see the name on the spine. If they're like this, forget it. You can't find anything. So yeah, that is definitely annoying. Prompt number, oh, I skipped one. Prompt number 8 is, do the decisions of characters in a novel ever annoy you? Share the book and what decisions you found annoying. Now this one actually, as I thought about it, it's pretty interesting, because I recently just talked about this. This is Nothing Else But Miracles by Kate Albus, which I was a little tiny bit let down by, primarily because it's set in World War II. The father of 3 children leaves the children in their apartment and goes off to war by choice. And he leaves them. He says, oh, don't worry, just checking with the neighbors if you need anything. And I was like, what? And I got a couple of comments from people, because I was saying it didn't ring true to me. I didn't believe it. And I got a couple of comments from people who said things like, well, people leave their kids all the time. Of course that could happen. It made me think, it's not that they make decisions that I disagree with, because that happens all the time in books, and I disagree with people frequently with, the characters and what they do, but the author didn't sell it. They didn't sell it in a way that made me believe it, which is, I think, the tipping point for me. Is I will buy anything if the author sells it and makes me believe it, and she didn't in this book. So it's more that than that I disagree with their choices, because that's kind of what books are supposed to be for me. And then let's see, prompt number 10 is, share something bookish that you find annoying. I forgot to get something for this prompt. Not enough bookshelf space. Yeah, you know what? I can't think of anything. I think I've really gone over everything in the other prompts. So I'm gonna tag a few people, and I think probably some of these people have already been tagged, but I'm going to tag Greg at Another Bibliophile Reads. I'm gonna tag Randy at Illiterate Texan. I'm gonna tag Marie Andrea Belmont at Books and Bookadillos, who's got a newish channel. You should go check her out. She's super duper smart and cute, and she reads different books than I do, and I always get really great ideas from her. I didn't say anything great about Greg and Randy, because I'm sure you guys already all know them. Priscilla at The Evening Reader, and Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. And Alice and Priscilla, you guys probably know them already too. They've both been around for a little while. So I would love to hear what bookish things annoy you down in the comments. I'm sure I forgot some things, because I didn't really prep very well, and I'm sure there are bookish things that annoy me that I just didn't think about. So tell me what your bookish annoyances are. I can't wait to hear from you, and I will talk to you later. Bye.